No, I've been here like 2 times already. I just got questions actually. Yeah.
Okay.
So I was reading one of Sam's articles on Islamic dilemma.
Uh,
Yeah, I was reading the one where he was debating Zawadi, I think.
Bassam
Bassam.
Zawadi, yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. They were going back and forth on the article.
Yep, I'm
Uh,
glad you're reading those.
yeah,
Glad you.
yeah. I just went in depth on the Islamic dilemma because like some Muslims just tell me don't look at it. It's like it's they say it's the worst argument of all time, but I'm looking
Refute
more
it.
into it. Yeah. So
you're
yeah,
still a Muslim, by
yeah,
the way, right?
yeah. I'm still a Muslim. Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Let me go off camera for a second because I got to go put up the air. So go ahead. I'm listening.
All
Though.
right,
Go
all
ahead.
right. Sam's running.
It's even better because I'm ugly.
Yeah. So I actually went on TikTok and I was asking a Muslim some question. Turns out he had a debate with someone you guys know, but he told me that scholars like Al Bukhari, Al Razi all believe that the Torah was corrupted by interpretation.
Corrupted?
Yeah, by interpretation, but
Yes.
textually, it's not corrupted. And
No, he's
he
actually
told,
right.
yeah. So he told me that books of the Old Testament, such as Jeremiah, Isaiah, like all the Old Testament, he said it was preserved, and that's what the Quran is actually talking about.
Who told you this?
It was some Muslim. I think he was on a different account. I recognize his voice, but he was on a different account, so I can't really assume who he was. He had a debate recently. I don't know who he was.
He was very
Uh,
honest, man. Very honest.
well, he told me not to record it for some reason. I don't know why.
That's why.
Yeah,
That's why. Because
yeah,
what he's saying is
yeah.
detrimental. It's detrimental, man. When he acknowledges that these scholars affirm the preservation of the text of the scriptures, it's over.
Yeah.
It's detrimental. But go ahead, continue, bro.
But do you know where he got it from? I have the article. I published it. You know he's quoting?
I showed him. I showed him the article. Like I
good.
showed him that Ibn Qayyim al-Jawziyah, whatever.
Exactly. So he admits it's true, right?
Yeah, he admitted it was true. It was at 3 a.m. and there was like 50 people in there, so like nobody recorded it or no, like there was no footage of it. But I told him a question. It was like in Surah 7:157, the Torah and Injil that was written. The Prophet was written in these books, right? Which Torah and Injil was the Quran talking about? He said the Torah and Injil that was with the Jews and Christians during the time. So I told him. So I told him which Torah. So he said the Old Testament, the books that he quoted. That he said that it was preserved. So basically, the Old Testament. And then I went to the Injil. I told him which books of the Injil are what's it called, preserved here, right? He didn't want to say it was Matthew, Luke, John, Luke, Matthew. He didn't want to say that. And then I told him the Quran quotes the book of Mark, right? He said, yeah, but there's some hidden elements in it. But yeah, but he didn't want to touch the topic of the Injil, but the Torah, he was kind of being honest about it. He was saying that like, yeah, these are preserved during the time of the Prophet because it says it. I also talked about Ibn Abbas.
Read I'm impressed. You've read a lot of my material because a lot of people don't know. You've read my material because I've heard no other Christian. I'm not trying to toot my horn, by the way. No other Christian knows, or I've never heard a Christian mention this, that the Quran actually quotes the Gospel of Mark as the Gospel. It's in chapter 48, verse 29 of the Quran. So you must have been reading a lot of my articles, huh?
Yeah, I read a lot of your articles. I just look into it like on my free time, see what's up. Yeah, I also mentioned the hadith of Al-Bukhari quoting Ibn Abbas saying the Torah is corrupted. I told him, what does Al-Bukhari think in the hadith?
Exactly.
Well, he said Al-Bukhari believes that it was through interpretation, but not textually. And then I was like, oh, okay, all right. So the person that's quoting this is saying it's interpretationally corrupted, right? I was like, okay, all right, okay. Then I just asked him a bunch of questions. I told him I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna ask him about Jesus' resurrection and Surah 61 verse 14, Surah 61 verse 6, and all that. Yeah. I was honestly, I was shocked because I spoke to you before this, and you told me about Ibn Qayyim al-Jawziyah and what he think, and all about like the hadith, like for example Al-Razi and all of them. So I actually went up to him and told him, "Yo, this is look at what Ibn Qayyim al-Jawziyah said. Is this true?" And then he kind of admitted 95% of the thing, other than the Injil part. Yeah.
Amazing.
Guys, if you guys don't know what he's talking about, and I'm going to tell you, again, answering the Islam.info, you guys got to download the articles because we don't know how long these websites will be running. God forbid they shut down. May they stay for 20 years. But Lord willing, you should download the articles in case they're removed from the site because we're going to lose all these articles. Now, the article he's talking about is one that I published. Why? Because Bassam Zawadi made a mistake. I'm going to tell you what Bassam Zawadi's mistake was. He mentioned somewhere, because I used to, just to give you a little background what this young brother in humanity is talking about. Prior to YouTube and live streaming, we didn't have that. In 1999, when the internet first caught on, everything was written refutation. You'd have to write a response to another website, and they'd write a response, and you'd write a response. We go back and forth. So Bassam Zawadi made a mistake. He mentioned one of the teachers at an Islamic, I believe it's university. I even name the Muslim who translated, Dr. Walid Basyuni. It's in my article. I sent him the link. If he wants to open up the page, he can, but I'm sending it to you in the chat. You guys got it right here. It's right here. Okay. Now, he was trying to tell Dr. Walid Basyuni, this must be incorrect. He goes, no, it's not. This is Ibn Qayyim al-Jawziyah. And he gave the reference, and he gave the Arabic, and guess what I did? I copy and pasted it, and I saved it. So I got it in Arabic because he quoted in Arabic, and I got a brother in Christ to translate it. Mutih al-Fadi. And it's right there. So I sent you a link in private if you want to show it to them. All right.
Finally. Wait, I don't see the link.
I thought I sent it to you in private, brother. Hold on.
Oh,
no,
you said
sorry. I apologize. Here it goes. All right, that's it right there. You get it? Oh, I thought I did. Let me go down. There it goes, right there. Okay, now guys, watch. This is the article. This is the article. All right, do you want to bring it up?
Yep, just loading it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's in there. Now, did you hear what this young brother in humanity said? The Muslim had to admit, yes, this is authentic. Yes, this is true. Yes, it's not a lie. Yes, Al-Bukhari believed the books of Allah, which will be torn Injil, are uncorrupt. So did Al-Razi. So did others. In fact, Ibn Qayyim al-Jawziyah stated there are three views regarding the Torah's preservation. He goes, there's one view that says it's corrupted, right? But then he says there's a second view that says it's uncorrupted. And then that second view gives evidence. It's in the article.
Yep. So I got it right here. Where you want
right
me to?
There, that's the article.
Right here.
The second view gives evidence. And then he says there's a third view that says there are only minor modifications, but it's been substantially preserved. And he says that was the view of his teacher because Ibn Qayyim is the disciple of Ibn Taymiyyah. So notice which view gives evidence? The view that says the Torah cannot be corrupted. The Torah is incorruptible. And then they give their ayat. And he mentions who? Razi says it. Imam al-Bukhari said it, right? And then on top of that, they quote a verse. It's in the article. Guess what verse they quote to show that the Torah cannot be corrupted?
115.
115. Where it says, and none can change the words of Allah. They go, see, on the basis of this ayah, since the Torah is the word of Allah, no one can change the words of Allah. Therefore, Torah cannot be changed. But hold on. The gospel is also the word of Allah.
Yeah.
So they're using this passage to prove none of Allah's words can be changed, corrupted. And since the Torah is Allah's word, it cannot be changed, cannot be corrupted. But that means neither the Psalms nor the gospel can be corrupted because they're all the words of Allah. And Ibn Qayyim says This was the view of many Muslims. And when is Ibn Qayyim writing? He's writing over 700 years after the death of Muhammad. He's writing around 1400 AD, late 1300, early 1400 AD. That means 700 years later, Muslims, you need to hear this. 700 years later, even the Muslims are not in agreement whether the Bible is corrupt, because all of you to a T say it's corrupted. Ibn Qayyim is admitting, no, at his time, over 7 years after Muhammad's death, there are many Muslims say, no, Torah cannot be corrupted because it's the words of Allah, and all those words cannot be changed. So thank you, Bassam Zawadi, because Bassam Zawadi, had he not mentioned it, I would not have found it, and I would not have preserved it.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So there you go. So now, friend, you're hearing the evidence that was hidden from you, and if you had not known of it, they would not have brought it to your attention. So why is it the Muslims, the Muslim who admitted to you, Sheikh, he admitted to you, yes, this is true, and he knew it's true after you gave him the evidence. So why are they hiding this from the Muslims?
Honestly, I don't know.
Okay, now you understand, by admitting the Torah is uncorrupt, you know that means the Quran can't be true, right? Just the Torah, forget the gospel.
Well,
you know that.
Here's the thing, right? I like to research, right? And I like to read articles, like to watch videos. I might come to the conclusion otherwise. So, and my position right now, it's going in your favor, but I'll look into it more.
Yeah, but even if you disagree with me about the Torah being preserved, even though Bukhari believed that, Razi believed that, even Ibn Taymiyyah says there's some minor modifications. Notice who's giving evidence for their position. Not the group says it's corrupted. It's a group that says it cannot be corrupted. But let's say it's corrupted. The Torah as we have it today contradicts the Quran. That's just a common fact. I mean, I can give you example after example of example.
Yes.
Without going to the gospel. I can show you. The Torah as it stands contradicts the Quran. It cannot be from the same source.
Yeah, definitely.
So you want me to show you examples?
No, I already know that.
Okay, then you know. All right, so then I don't know what you're waiting for, brother. Come on side the truth.
Come home, man.
Well, there could be a different book out there saying otherwise, but
What other book, man? They're quoting the Quran, 6:115. They're quoting Sunan Abu Dawud. One of the hadith quoted in that article, is the hadith of Sunan Abu Dawud, classified as Hassan, if you find on Darul Salam, where Muhammad is sitting on the pillow, the cushion, and he tells the Jews, bring me your Torah, the copy of the Torah, and he puts it on the cushion saying, this will judge. And he says, I believe you, and him who revealed you. And then Ibn Qayyim said, on the basis of that hadith, those Muslims say, see, he would not have said it if the Torah is corrupted. What other book? They're giving you Quran.
Bassam said it was Daif, right? I remember him saying
No, Hassan. It's not Daif.
No. The guy you're debating, Bassam, he said it was Daif.
Yeah, even though if you go to Darul Salam and you put in pillow and Torah, it'll pop up. And Sunan Abu Dawud, it will say Hassan, good.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, guys, let me all these Daniel Pikachu's fangirls. Guys, don't take my word for it. Go to Standing for Truth. I'm the one who called them out. I'm the one who challenged debate me on 4 topics. I'm the one who said he's running, wearing his wife's robe. I called him out. I have the evidence. And if I'm the coward and that fat pig is the one who's brave, why did he get my post banned and complained and gave me a copyright strike? And don't take my word for it. I know you're his fangirls. Go ask Standing for Truth. I contacted him and said, can you call out Sheikh Porky Pig to debate me on these 4 topics? We're waiting for your hero, Sheikh Porky Pig. Stop manifesting. I'll demolish him and destroy him by the power of Jesus Christ, because Islam is under the feet of Jesus. Jesus is alive. Even according to your tradition, Muhammad is dead. Chapter 39, verse 30, your prophet is dead. But Isa, who you believe is Jesus, is with Allah above the 7 heavens. Live with it. Anyway, brother, if you have any questions, let's discuss it.
Yeah. Coincidentally, do you know what the Muslim brother quoted?
What did he quote?
In 7:157, he quoted Daniel 2, Daniel 7, Song of Solomon 5:16.
Excellent.
He quoted He even quoted the book of John for some reason.
So, guys, understand. He when he brought up the passage to this Muslim, chapter 7, 157, that says the Torah and the Gospels with them that contain a prophecy of the Ummi prophet. He went to chapter 2 of the Quran that talks about the stone that wasn't made with hands, and that's Islam. But even if we go with that as a Prophet Muhammad, how do we know that whoever this is, he's going to be an Ummi? It says the Ummi prophet, unlettered prophet, right? Where does Daniel 2 mention that? Right? And it's not. If you read it, Daniel 2, 34, 35, we did a session, Avery and I, it's on the channel. Daniel 2, 34, 35, and Daniel 2, 44, 45. We did a session showing that kingdom, that stone that wasn't made with hands, will be established during the time of the four kingdoms, meaning when you still had Roman power and the other kingdoms that were vanquished still in existence. And it says, then it became a huge mountain, meaning the kingdom would slowly expand and slowly increase until it engulfs the world. And when did Jesus show up? He showed up in the 1st century during the 4th kingdom, the Roman Empire. And he says, the kingdom of God is at hand. And from that time on, his kingdom has been expanding, eventually will engulf the world. And even the rabbis say that's about the kingdom of the Messiah. Right? Now, do they want to use Daniel? Because if they want to use Daniel, do they agree there's a man, Daniel 7, 13 and 14, there's a man who will rule forever and who will be given ibadah? You know the prophecy, Daniel 7, 13 and 14, the Son of Man, one like a Son of Man, rides the clouds of heaven. You know that prophecy, right?
Yeah, I know the prophecy. But the thing is, it's never been debated on YouTube anywhere.
I've actually responded to some Jewish attempts. And if Muslims want to debate me on it, I'd love to, because they'll say, well, it means Israel collectively. That's a lie. The oldest interpretation of the one like Son of Man, the oldest interpretation,
I know,
is that
I know Central Dawah likes to use as Daniel's 2 or Daniel 7.
Daniel 7. So wait, Central Dawah commits shirk, huh?
He sure does.
So because I want you to explain to me, how is it? Because it says all nations, all language, all tribes will serve him. And the word for serve in Arabic is ibadah. This means that all creatures will give him ibadah, violating Tawheed?
Yeah,
really?
I don't believe in that.
But wait, he says, right? Central Dawah says that's Muhammad, right?
He says it, yeah.
Okay, but so I'll go with him. All right, good. So that means he's admitting he's a Mohammedan who worships Muhammad, because it says all nations and all language tribes will serve him. Pilach, the Aramaic, but forget Pilach. Let's go with Arabic. In Arabic, it would be the word ibadah. Like when you say Tawheed al-Ibadah. Ibadah, you give only to Allah. Tawheed al-Ibadah, Tawheed uluhiyah. Worship, serving Allah alone. But here it says that all nations and all languages will give him ibadah forever and ever. So that means he's admitting that Muslims worship Muhammad. Excellent. That's what we've been saying. But then secondly, it says he rides the clouds of heaven. I will show you from the Quran itself, as well as the Old Testament, the only figure who rides the clouds of heaven is God, even in ancient Near Eastern pagan myths. Don't take my word for it. Get any commentary in Daniel, like John J. Collins. He's a liberal. He's not a conservative, doesn't believe in the Bible. He's a professor of the Old Testament. And he says that riding the clouds was a function of God's. In fact, in Canaanite mythology, the Canaanites believe Baal was the cloud rider. He rode on the clouds of heaven. Riding the clouds of heaven is something only a divine being does. Old Testament says that's something only Yahweh and the angel of Yahweh do, because the angel's not a creature. So is he saying that Muhammad is a divine being because he rides the clouds of heaven?
Yeah, he is. He's saying that Muhammad rode the clouds when on his night journey.
And it's not thought about night journey, because it says he went to the Ancient of Days, and that's when he was given a kingdom to reign forever. So Central Dawah believes that Muhammad went to Allah, Baytul Ma'mur, and he was then made king. Interesting. Wow, the Central Dawah is an interesting character. But According to your Quran, Surah Al-Baqarah, chapter 2, verse 210, chapter 2, verse 210, it says, when the Jews are disputing with Muhammad, they're saying, we will wait for the day of judgment. And then the response is what? Do they wait for Allah to come in the shadow of the clouds with the angels? So even there, it's telling you, Muhammad and the Jews knew, it is Allah who comes on the shadows of the clouds on the day of judgment. Something that Central Down saying Muhammad does. So guys, notice, Muhammad rides the clouds of heaven. So he must be God. He will receive ibadah from all nations and all languages, must be God. So that means we should say, La ilaha illallah wa Muhammad. There is no deity except Allah and Muhammad. Sheikh, what are you waiting for? Can you explain to me, Sheikh, now, honestly? Daniel is not written by Christians. Daniel is a pre-Christian book. Even liberal scholars who give a later dating to Daniel will say, yes, this is pre-Christian. But here you have two divine powers. The oldest interpretation, even rabbinic interpretation. Don't believe Tovia Swinger. I'll show him on Chabad.org. A medieval rabbi named Rashi. He's considered one of the greatest rabbis who ever lived. They have a commentary online, Chabad.org, an Orthodox Jewish website. They have their own translation of the Hebrew Bible in English with Rashi's commentary. He can open it up. You want me to get you the link or you have it?
I don't have it, Andrew.
Okay, go to Chabad.org. You're going to see, he's going to say, this Son of Man is King Messiah. It's the Messiah. So my question to you is, he brings it up so you can see rabbinic tradition, the book of Enoch, for Ezra, as well as Christian tradition, all agree the earliest, oldest Jewish interpretation, which is Enoch for Ezra. And rabbinic Judaism affirms Daniel 7, 13, 14, that Son of Man is the Messiah, agreeing with Christians. Well, we Christians believe Jesus is God the Son, distinct from the Father, equal to him in glory and power and dominion. So he's God in flesh, which is why he rides the clouds and why everyone will worship him. That's why we're Trinitarian. But since you're a Muslim, how do you then reconcile Daniel with the Quran? Because in the Quran, chapter 17, verse 111, we'll look at it in a minute. And chapter 25, verse 2, it says, Allah has no son and no partner in his dominion over the heavens and the earth. How do you reconcile Daniel with the Quran? And it's not a Christian book, it's a Jewish book. So open up.
I personally don't believe Daniel 7 or Daniel 2 talking about the prophet. I think it's shirk.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying, how do you reconcile Daniel 7, the Son of Man, being a second divine person, if the Old Testament agrees with the Quran over against the New Testament? You know how to find it, brother? If you look, it says learning and views, and then you'll see text, and I'll show you the Tanakh, where it says text, and it should say Tanakh, right? Go there. And then you're going to go into the writings, open up the writings, and then you're going to enlarge your screen and see it. Now here, guys, this is Chabad.org. It's an Orthodox Jewish site. It's not Christian. And it has Rashi's commentary, a medieval rabbi who despised Christianity as well as Islam. But he's going to show you.
Wait, where do you see writings at?
Okay, you see where it says the Torah? You're going to click that arrow box. It's going to drop down. Well, I'm looking at where it says, yeah, that's what I'm looking at. And then it's going to say writings. Ketuvim. When you click the arrow, open up. And then you're going to open up and you're going to look for Daniel, because the first book is the Psalms. Tehillim, Tehillim. And then you go Daniel. Then 7. Now watch. Guys, this is Rashi, a rabbi. He's not a Christian. So watch here. And then what you're going to do is where it says show, you got to click on show first. You got to go up.
Okay.
Because it won't show. You see where it says show? Click. Boom, his commentary opens up.
All right.
Then you go to verse 13.
Boom.
All right, but you got to go to chapter 7. I think you're still in chapter 1. Sorry, friend. I'm sorry, bro, man. I'm schooling you still. I thought, man, you're Mac Daddy, bro. You went to chapter 8. That's why. All right. Again, first show. Yeah. Now go. Watch here.
There we are.
Okay. Now large it so everyone can see it. I see it, but I don't know if people can see it. It's not. Okay. Watch here, guys. Okay. I saw in the visions of the night, and behold, the clouds of heaven, one like a man, because son of man, body nash means man. And he came up to the Ancient of Days and was brought before him. Now, Sheikh, you see in that box, it says one like a man was coming. Can you read that for me?
One like a man was coming. That is the King Messiah.
So you think you're the Sheikh, huh? I want him to read it, bro.
You called the Sheikh. You know, of course.
I'm sorry, bro. Okay, now, Sheikh, Muslims, this is Daniel. Sadly, Daniel Pikachu is named after him. And yet, the Daniel of the Old Testament does not worship Daniel Pikachu's ilah. But now, check it here. Check it here. An Orthodox Jewish website. Rashi, a medieval rabbi who did not like Christianity or Islam. And he admits that the view of the Son of Man is that this is King Messiah. That's what we've been saying for years, that the Son of Man is the Messiah and happens to be Jesus. Now, Sheikh, here's the dilemma for you. The Jews don't accept Jesus as the Messiah. They don't think the Messiah has come. But the Jews agree with the Christians. Messiah is the Son of Man who rides the clouds of heaven, who reigns forever as king, and whom all will worship. All languages, all peoples, including the Arabs. But you agree with us, Messiah is Jesus. So aren't you worshiping him? Because that's what Daniel said you got to do. Otherwise, you suffer the consequences. So aren't you worshiping him?
Wait, so why don't Jewish people believe in him?
Not all Jews reject him. The Jews who don't believe Jesus is the Messiah, like Tovia Singer, they say Jesus not Messiah, but they agree Messiah is the king who rules forever and everyone must worship. So do you agree the Messiah has come?
Oh,
You got it. Yes, you're a Muslim, man.
Yeah.
Is that Messiah Jesus?
Well, Jesus is the Messiah, yeah.
According to Daniel, that Messiah is your king and he is your God whom you must worship. So how come you're not worshiping Jesus, the Messiah?
I got no comment.
That's why it's time for you to check out Leave Islam. And then, Lord willing, I know Daniel's fangirls are manifesting. Watch what I'm going to do to him when I do debate him. Tell him accept the challenge because I'm going to decimate him and perform his janazah. Keep barking, guys. But you're on your way to leave Islam. Come to Jesus. You're on your way there. Come to Jesus, brother.
Something's happening with the connection. Say something. Say something.
Anyway, so you guys see the dilemma. See, that's what I'm going to do to your Daniel Pikachu. I'm going to shish kebab him, pork fry him by the power of Jesus Christ. Bury him under my feet like Jesus crushed your wicked religion. Jesus lives. Even, hey, Muslims, live with it. You believe Jesus is alive, but you believe Muhammad is dead. He's in Barzakh. Sucks being you guys, man. Repent. Come to Jesus. Now, brother, we haven't even talked about Muhammad's uncertainty. We can go into that.
Oh, yeah. We can
get into that instead of predestination.
Well, yeah. I like that. I like that predestination. I feel like that was hitting something.
Okay, we'll stay on it. You got the article though.